powered by eastrologer.tv. I'm Ernesto, and I'm your host. I will be here with you for the next 2 hours, and I also have Veretta on the line. Can you hear me right now? Go ahead and say hi.
Hi, I can
Okay,
hear you.
perfect. All right, so just want to let everybody know who's watching out there on our Facebook and our YouTube streams. If you would like a free live reading, please give us a call here on the show directly. We don't really take pre-registration for those platforms, so just call us. It'll be 563-999-3070. We're going to get off to our phone lines in just a moment, but I wanted to talk for a moment about some things that some spiritual stuff that's been coming up in my life recently. So we were talking, Veretta and I, just before the show started, that Ho'oponopono, like that's a thing that's really kind of been coming up in my own personal work because I'm going through some belief change sessions right now. So the person who's doing this for me keeps telling me I need to do this, and I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't too sure about it, but then when she's telling me that it's, like a type of ancestral clearing for, like junk that we pick up that doesn't really belong to us, it made me wonder for a second, okay, so in terms of like chart markers, like the things that really define us in terms of our life story and the major key themes that we play out lifetime over lifetime. If I'm having these issues with my chart and I can see a similar chart marker with, let's say, my mom, my grandmother, my dad, everybody in my family, we all have these things in common. And yet all of us are still here that, we have this like really sort of junkiness that we have to clean up before we can start to enjoy ourselves here on this plane. So, knowing that this is a pattern, throughout many generations, it made me wonder, like, is this whole Ho'oponopono thing like really something? Because if I can clear, whatever I'm picking up from my ancestors that doesn't belong to me, and I know that that chart marker influence is somewhat difficult or challenging for me anyway, then maybe there really is something to it. So Veretta can fill us in a lot more on this because she's our metaphysics expert. So what's the story behind this thing here?
So, Ho'oponopono was created in the Pacific Islands. Well, it encompasses a lot more, but the Kahunas primarily made it the way of repenting for our ancestors' sins without literally claiming that we created it, yet being responsible for our own participation in how we perpetuated the ongoing whatever curse, tradition, crap that passed on down the line. And anytime you say something with intent, and it's authentic, and the intent being authentic intent, so let's put it that way, and the intent being to purge and let go of, and then accept and recreate. And so the mantra itself, the words themselves, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, forgive me.
I love you. I'm sorry.
You,
Please forgive me. Thank you.
I love you. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You're supposed to do it in the manner that it would have been chronologically created. So it would be, I'm sorry first, forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you could start with I love you because that you want to set the tone, but it was basically created with chronological intent to go from back to forward. And like I said, do the purging, the cleansing, and then the recreating the foundation on that intent. And therefore you're no longer carrying your ancestry traditions forward with you, plus passing it on to the generations to come. And like I was going to say, when you set the intent authentically and then continue to repeat that, raising the vibration on the cycle of times that you say it, then that is what the kahunas would represent. You sending it on to the spirit to answer and help you and create the path in the event that more needs to come. And it not only did it heal. So this is the thing about that. What it proved. So I kind of got off the track, but so what a prison warden proved by implementing this in prison was that not only did it not heal them, the prisoners, emotionally over a course of time, it healed them physically, because they really were sorry and they really wanted to do more than what they had been genetically and traditionally predisposed to do, and they wanted to let go of the past. And when they accepted this for the reality of they couldn't move forward without letting go of the past, they can't drag it with them, that's where the imperativeness of I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you come. And that ritual over and over and over then helps you also release anything that comes at you in the right now, totally regardless of whether it's created from a traditional habit or one you picked up from that was created. It helps you purge and let go and stay clean of, again, creating a ripple on in the future. So there's a lot to the Ho'oponopono tradition that had a lot of merit.
So what is a reason why somebody would do this?
Well, okay, so with them in prison, you're looking at people that committed offense, whether it was from the most heinous of murder to, lesser than, and that was whatever their lesser offense could have been. You want to clear, the biggest reason you want to do it is to clear whatever event or obstacle hurdle may be in front of you for getting where you want to in the future. And doing it with ease, getting there with ease. You release so much negative energy by asking for forgiveness. And one would think, well, that's not real, it won't take place. Well, it would if you actually tried asking for each 4 of these things, stating each 4 of these items in that authentic, intentive value. Okay, so you'd have to determine what the value would be. Maybe to kick a drug habit, maybe to, let go of incest that your family perpetrated, maybe to get out of the habit of being just mean because you were angry about the past and how you were brought up, and so now you're pulling that forward and being not the greatest person to your kids or people around you. I think the biggest and the best reason that I could see anyone would be the ease of life that it would create for someone. That would be my motivator.
So, is this something that you could do? Like, if let's say I go to the casino and I lose all my money and I don't feel great about myself afterwards, is this something that I can do to release all of that guilt and despair that I feel because I made the wrong choice?
It would be, but you have to look at the participation in it, and to ask for forgiveness means you're not going to do that anymore. And unless you can actually say that in earnest, you can't do all 4 of these steps with authentic intent.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I had this belief change session recently, and it's this whole thing about subconscious reprogramming, that we can basically have like these affirmative statements that replace the broken programming that creates a mental roadblock or a wall about something else. So a great example of this is like my disability that affects my left side. I haven't been able to use my left hand for nearly 20 years, so that side of my body is quite weak, and so I'm having issues at the gym in terms of performance, that my left side just doesn't do what my right side can, and it's frustrating and annoying, and I don't know how to feel about it. So I tried a belief change session, with myself offline, when I wasn't working with my friend, and I was kind of smarmy about it, right? I was just like, oh, there's nothing, this can't work for something like disability. Let me just try. So then I just, sort of as like a jerk, I said the statement out loud: my left side is as strong as my right. And knowing that I didn't believe it, and then I'll be damned, like I started doing some resistance cable stuff, and I was really impressed how it wasn't at all as strong as my right side, but I could do a lot more than what I could 10 minutes prior. So there must be something to this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and the same thing happened to me when I quit smoking. Like I saw this YouTube video that said, "Quit smoking with hypnosis in one session or less, guaranteed, or your money back." Seeing that it was a YouTube video, it was obviously kind of a joke, and I thought there can't be anything to it, can there? And then, sure enough, after one session, it ended a 13-year habit for me, and I was just kind of like somebody ripped off the Band-Aid, and I was left out in the cold, and I didn't know what just happened. So remember that, guys, when if you're gonna try to be smarmy or be a jerk about anything spiritual or psycho spiritual or anything having to do with the mind, be careful, because that stuff really does work, and you want to be prepared for whatever may come afterwards.
Yeah. You know, you're trying to use this specifically. You're trying to use this to make it right, not make it bigger. you know, you know what I
Right.
mean? This is not a manipulative tool.
It's not, no. So remember that we can do these things to ourselves. We really don't want to, because that psychological sabotage, that psychic attack, that gets into a bunch of areas that are very difficult for us to heal. I mean, that's when you end up paying us for like an energy clearing that's a lot more expensive than what you should have come to us for, which was a personal consult where we could have avoided all of those conversations. So
Right.
I do want to let everybody know we do have some phone calls here. We're going to get off to take some free live readings tonight. Just let everybody know. Be sure that if you're watching our YouTube stream, to turn off your audio so that on your computer or whatever device you're listening on, so that way it just avoids that feedback loop. And also be sure to take some notes while we're talking with you, so you can write down any initial impressions or feedback or anything like that, so you can leave us a comment when all is said and done based on where you're watching, and that'll get to us. That always makes us really happy to hear what you guys have to say about our work here on the air tonight. So without further ado, we're going to get off to our first caller here, who is going to be from area code 352. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, my name is Joanna, and my date of birth is January 27th, 1966.
January 27th, 66. And at what time were you born?
10:50 a.m.
Perfect. And Joanna, where were you born?
Brooklyn, New York, Kings County.
Got it. Okay. And Joanna, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a question about an issue?
I have a question about an issue.
Okay, what's that?
I need to move. New owners took over, and I am not financially able to. So I'm very worried as to where the finances are going to come from.
For sure. All right, Bretta, take it away.
Okay. Could you restate that? What? Okay. So you're what?
New owners took over the property where we're living, and everybody has to leave. We have to move.
Yep.
We've been given
Okay.
notices, and I lost my job, so I'm not in a financial position. I just don't know where I'm going to find the funds to move.
Oh. All right. Hang on, honey. Let's see. Well, you're gonna. Okay. So. By the skin of your teeth. By the skin of your teeth, you're gonna have enough. I don't know, something. I don't know if it's money you've saved. Something was saved for the last minute, but it feels to me that the essence of, okay, we made it in. Now we just need to, we need to gonna just keep plowing forward.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel. I want to say it's gonna feel. I think what I want to say is this. So this is what I see. I see you sitting in a little bitty boat and it rocking back and forth, but you're okay. It just feels rocky, and I think a lot of that has to do with the trauma that you just came through,
Yes.
having to leave. So that's going to leave a little bit of a mark. Don't kid yourself. If you get emotional or it gets overwhelming or you all of a sudden become biatch of the year, because I'm really beginning to see this is going to create a lot of stress, more than you're trying not to convey. So whether it's help from a friend, help from somebody, help from government, help from everybody, a church included. I mean, like literally I'm seeing people kind of somewhere there are layers of how you're going to make this work. Not a one thing is going to happen. So, and then but you've got a minute to stay there. So did they give you a 90-day?
What they were initially doing was a 30 to 90 day, and I just got legal advice, and they said they would have to at least give me a 60 day.
Yeah. So, you may get 90 out of it in total. Now, whether that's because you just blatantly put your foot down and said, okay, have a sheriff come put me out, and bought yourself another 30 days, I don't know. But like I said, by the skin of your teeth, honey, you're going to get out and you're going to be okay. Don't stall out. Don't stop packing. Don't get so worried you shut down. Just keep moving forward. Like, somehow the pot at the end of the rainbow is going to come at you, but at first it's got to rain. So just let it, happen. Now, Ernesto has got a bunch of things up on this chart that he's putting markers on. So I'm going to hopefully think that means he's found some more information, and I'm going to give it to him. Honey, take a breath. It'll be okay.
Okay, thank you so much, and bless you.
Thank you. Bless you too. All right, Ernesto.
Okay, all right, Joanna. So I'm taking a look at your chart here. I have two separate questions if you're looking at our YouTube stream. The green dot is Meridian Jupiter, that midpoint of the first two charts that we're looking at. That's going to deal with the money question of things. And then the second one, which is a little bit further down, that's going to be on the same level as the orange dot. That's Jupiter Saturn, which deals with the change of residence. So we're taking a look at the midpoint of both of those questions, since they both seem to be somewhat related to each other right now. And the first thing I want to tell you is that your money situation, it was important that when we went back to this axis point over here, that at that 7849, that there were some interesting things that were happening with your money. This tells me, like this part of your chart, the story about your finances. And so this is something that I want to say that your financial situation, it's when Veretta says that you're going to get by the skin of your teeth, we're really meaning it. Like it is going to totally exhaust and consume every single bit of your being to make sure that you have a roof over your head. But you know what? You're going to be fine. I would tend to think that for right now, on this interim period where things are a little bit more shaky, and this, like that they're getting rid of the building and they won't be your managers anymore. And in this whole transitional phase, I really feel like that the likelihood of you crashing with a friend for a little bit, that could happen, and definitely be open to that as well. That you may have to downsize for a little bit, and I do believe, though, that, regardless of what happens, we don't have to have scary conversations about that. Things are going to get very real. I just think it's really going to take a lot of you to make this come true. So, but the potential was all here as far as the money situation is concerned with your living. That those finances will be there, but it's going to be a bit of a drain, and you're just going to feel like emotionally you just can't keep up with it. Like there are some days that you will just feel so spent and so wasted from all of this that you're not really sure what to make of it. But like also similar to what Veretta was saying, that about the trauma, that there was like, would you agree? I don't need to know details or specifics, but would you agree that there was a relationship, in a most general term, a relationship that went away that was not really healthy for you?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where the distress is coming from, and this is only temporary, so that will go away. I think once you get moved into the new residence, officially wherever that new place is going to be, that you're on a lease or a mortgage or whatever again, then that's going to be when that emotional distress will dissipate. But you just kind of had too much. You got beat up, and somebody threw salt on your wounds, and you haven't had the chance to really recover yet. And not only are you not recovered and you're broken down, but also you have this male maelstrom of stuff that's going on at the same time. So it's really just hard to keep up with. But Joanna, I just want to let you know that everything is going to be okay with this whole situation, and that your living situation will work itself out. So my first advice to you is, if things start to get real and you're just not sure about where to take it, start reaching out to some friends, get some other ideas and other options, because the help and the support is definitely there. But remember that human beings, we're not mind readers. We kind of have to be hit on the head pretty hard to be told, like, I need this, because that's just how we're wired.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so does that sort of cover, or is there a specific question that you wanted me to look into?
No, that covered everything. That was that I had in question. And thank you so much. And you definitely picked up on what happened. That is exactly what happened with the relationship, and I'm very much looking forward to a move as well, to continue with healing as well. So definitely yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, and your whole thing is that, you just got to get some rest. You really do. Like, just take some time out.
Yeah.
And I know you can't really do that because of the way things are going, but whatever you need to do to find that personal space where you can just kind of escape and you get into that quiet part of your mind, like, you would really seriously benefit from that right now, just because there's too much turmoil and chaos going on. So you kind of need to bury your head in the sand for a little bit to recharge.
Yes, definitely. Listen, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and bless you as well.
Yeah, it was great to have you on the show, Joanna. Be sure to leave us a comment and let us know how you enjoyed your reading tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, take care. Until next time. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and we are going to get to our next caller here from area code 313. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, Gianni, and on date of birth is 08/05/1987.
I'm sorry, you said that was Gianni?
Yep, Gianni. Yep.
And that was 5/8/87?
No, August 8/5/87.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, so August 5th of 87. Happy birthday, by the way. I know that was recently. And Gianni, what time were you born at?
Thanks. 12:45 a.m.
Perfect. And where were you born?
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, all right. And would you like a general reading tonight, or do you have a question about an issue?
I have a question about the issue.
All right, and what's that?
Just trying to find some type of guidance. My mom, she passed maybe a year ago to the date from taking the COVID vaccine, and she died of a heart attack a month later. And I found her. I had to kick her apartment door in, and find her dead. And after that, me and my girlfriend broke up, and that's been a back and forth thing. So I'm just looking for some guidance, some type of.
Just want to know when it gets better, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, we can look into that. Now, Beretta, go ahead.
All right. Could you spell your name for me?
Yes. GIONNI.
Did your family call you something else? They call you G?
Yep, G.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. And you also have an aunt in spirit?
Yeah, my Auntie Betty called me G, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go out on an even tinier limb. I'm going to say your mama and your aunt are both here. And they're making
Always.
hell together. All right. Honey, heal. You have so much mad inside of you, and it's if they were capable of literally having an emotional moment, they'd be breaking their heart. However, some kind of thing is going to allow you to put that energy to work. but you got to let it heal so that you'll have control of that pain. So when that whatever it is going to happen happens, you're not still so raw that it's way too much work for everybody else to be around you because you're still working through it. You know what I mean? So you both your mama and your aunt are tag teaming you. And here recently, because your mom's death date anniversary is right now, it's just that much more fresh and current in your mind. And you've been asking things like, you know, should you have insisted? There have been more pressure on your part? Should you had been paying more attention? Should you been maybe after her more often? She's very aware. All this crap's running through your veins right now. And that's what makes it hurt for you, because you're wondering what you missed. And she's going to tell you right now, and I'm going to tell it for her. You didn't miss a damn thing, honey. I think that for the fact that her heart was as weak as it was, not giving the vaccination a shout out. I don't hear me go there in any manner. I'm saying maybe it'd have been better if she went quick like that, because I think honestly what she's saying right now is she'd been in pain, just not so bad she felt like she should tell anybody. But that one just took her out. I mean, there were no warning signs. So this is where I have to look at that, and I'm looking at your mama's energy after the fact. I think now I'd be inclined for you to know that it really was a blessing in disguise. Please do not hear me say I'm okay with your mom dying. I'm not saying you should be okay with your mom dying. What I'm saying is everything happens for a reason, and God cradled her. All right? And he took her home, and he made it quick. So apparently the way she died, she really didn't have a lot of time, and I'm getting the impression that she really just didn't suffer all that long. She had a little heartburn, went to bed, or some kind of whatever. Tried to go to the bathroom, couldn't get up. So really what you need to hear her say more than anything else is she is taking you off the hook for being responsible in any manner, of any kind. Okay? And that she loves you, and that you got to know by hook or crook, I don't know where that came from, by hook or crook, her and your aunt are going to make sure you find that woman that you want, that will bring you what you need, and it will be an absolute success. And she's telling you that you're hanging on to some kind of ring. She have like an amethyst or purple, or I don't know, some kind of stone ring, and that she wants you to get that ring to her, whoever this her may be in the future, when it's time, and know that was mom. She was heaven sent. She was heaven sent. Now,
I don't have nothing with that.
Huh?
I said I don't have much. I don't want much of her belongings other than like maybe some like clothes, and comforters. But other than that, no jewelry.
Okay. Well. Oh, and you've got a brother. You've got a brother?
On my dad's side.
Who went in? All right. Well, I won't get into that. There's a lot of things I can get, but just know that mom's there. Mom's guiding you. You're going to be all right. And I think Ernesto probably is going to have a better look at being able to pull up dates and facts for you. And so I'm going to let him have you now. Just know that you, Mama hears you. Mama hears you when you're talking, so just keep talking. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm taking a look here, Gianni, to see what's going on. And specifically because you mentioned that you lost your mother a year ago today, that's somewhat significant to me. I want to take a look at that to see what's going on. So if you're watching our YouTube stream, you'll see that I have the arrow pointer over there on that orange dot that's at 8135. That's Mooned Mitos. That's like, the loss of your mother. That's a formula that we use there. So when we talk about the story as to, like what was going on with her, really sort of what happened in this moment when you lost her was that it began a cycle of confusion that, like your life just became really sort of a free for all. Nobody knows what's going to happen on any given day, and that there are some changes that we do know that are coming. It's supported here by the fact that you've got this Pluto down here. But the fact that you have the Neptune in transits, that's what makes it a little bit more like we don't know, that these are changes that you don't really see. So, for example, like lung cancer patients, you don't just wake up and have lung cancer. Like it doesn't work like that. You get lung cancer because you were a 2-pack-a-day smoker for 13 years. That's why you get lung cancer. So, like Neptune, Pluto, it just means that there's a change, but it's not really very obvious. So, and that's definitely a cycle that you began on when you lost your mother through this whole process. Also, on the flip side of that, what that can mean is that, you really have to turn on your BS radar and that filter to really just cut off the gangrenous wound, so to speak, that there is just so much crap coming at you from all different directions, and it's really just a whole bunch of nonsense that people can't take care of themselves or read directions, like the really annoying, inane types of things in life. These became highlighted for you with her loss, and so what we're getting at now is at 531 in your chart, at this green dot, we're looking at the question of when do I change? Like right now, what does that story look like? Does this get better? So first of all, we can tell that by the sun out here in the transits that you got that day. So this is the day. This is today. That this is a day of change for you because you've got like some Venus Pluto. So this Venus, not necessarily a love energy, but because it's coupled with Poseidon on the opposite end here, these are conversations about healing. So that, as Veretta was saying, that you've got some really serious healing you need to do right now, and I do agree with that absolutely. That you've got some things to walk through and talk out that you would really benefit from. And I think what will happen throughout this entire process is it will absolutely bring a love relationship into your life. So this is a new partner, possibly a marriage partner that you would get very serious with. And that's going to be the result of you went to a grief group, or you took whatever actions necessary to point yourself in that direction that, I'm going to be healing myself. I'm going to take care of these issues of self. And in doing so, I will also attract, the right partner or friend or whatever word you want to call it for me. So to reiterate, it is a love relationship that's coming down the turnpike, and that is absolutely going to be in your future. But you do have to heal first, and so how you heal, very simply, is just going to be number one, to talk about. To just talk about it. You've got a lot of stuff that you've just buried for so long, and it's starting to have a negative effect on or impact on your life. So it's causing, confusion, it's causing anger, it's causing aggression, it's causing issues that you don't really like about yourself and that you wish you could change. Well, the first thing I would say is, find somebody that you can use as an outlet to discuss a lot of these things with that you've kept pent up for so long. I think there's a lot of issues about her illness even as that was going on, that was just something that you really kind of kick yourself over. And Veretta was bringing that up earlier when she was talking to you. So I feel like that's something that you would benefit from, drawing out that conversation a little bit more, distilling more information from your subconscious mind as to what's creating this block. I think that a lot of where you feel so stuck is very simply just because, you have to be able to cut the cord to say goodbye to the BS. This is exciting and this is fun because it's definitely not what I'm doing in this exact moment, which is crap. But at the same time, this is not serving me either. So I need to say goodbye because this isn't healthy. So it's really learning to establish those boundaries with yourself and the people that you're close to, and not being a cold, prickly pear about it like me, I'm just very blunt and direct. Some people think that that's too much. My mom would often call me cold, and that's probably a somewhat accurate word to describe the conversations that I can have. But let's come from a place of love and empathy. That's where we establish the healthiest boundaries with people, and then they understand us and they don't feel personally attacked. But Gianni, getting back to your point, when does it get better? It's definitely going to be getting better. I want to say when this pointer over here moves up a little bit further, maybe about like another degree or so, then it's going to be making some contact with this meridian Jupiter down there. So this is going to be an additional time in life, that second circle, where once it makes that contact, you will be changed. So I hope whatever it is that you're doing in your life right now to heal, that you stick with that, because remember that since we know that successful or fortunate change, it can definitely happen to you. Remember that successful change can also be defined by all of the negative actions that I had in my life. That's now going to be my new character, and I'm going to be a successful mean guy, because I kept practicing those actions out. So healing yourself would really benefit, because we know that in another year or so, you will personally change in a really, really big way. And this is the time when you're given the choice with your actions that you can work it out for the better. And you won't see the immediate results that we're so brainwashed to think that that's how self-help works, that it's either now or never. You will absolutely reap those results in the future, and you'll be very, very glad that you did the work. So, Johnny, I do really wish you the very best in this whole process, and be sure to give us a call back. But does that kind of cover everything of what you're going through right now and the big questions why you're calling us tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I
Perfect.
appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So be sure to give us a call back in the future. Let us know how it turns out, and to subscribe, like, and share.
I will. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, perfect. Take care. Until next time.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, and we are going to take our next call here from area code 631. We have Suzanne on the line. Hi, Suzanne. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi, thank you.
Perfect. All right, I have your chart up. Now, Suzanne, would you like a general, or do you have a question about an issue?
Well, I am going on a job interview Friday morning. I want to see if you see me getting it, and about my love life. I'm supposed to go on a blind date on Sunday.
Okay, all right. And just let me know, where are you living today?
Long Island.
Long Island? Okay, perfect. Veretta, take it away.
All right, Suzanne. Let's see what's happening. Feels pretty good, this job interview. Okay, so I don't know why I would see you not, like, just being a bubbly kind of real forward kind of momentum, which is normally your MO for job interviews, I think. Right now, when I'm seeing you do this interview, you're not a happy person. Don't let that, I don't even know what to tell you about that. Maybe Ernesto could make more sense of that. I think you'll get the job, but I just really feel like there's a lot of gray there, so I don't know what that consists of. If you're not feeling good, I'm really inclined to say, and I don't know why I want to say that, if you're not feeling up to par, reschedule it.
No, I feel fine.
At the time of the interview.
Yeah, it's only 2 days away. I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. So like I said, there's some kind of something that's happening with you in that moment. So let maybe Ernesto have that, and he may be able to give you a lot more. And the love life, I'm not getting much about that. So either there isn't one, or there isn't something coming down the pike, or there's more something in order that will take place first. I don't see any kind of visual on that, so I don't know about the coming down the pike or what the know what the gray area would be. I don't know, because it's not within this vicinity. So again, maybe Ernesto can give you a little bit more about that, and I'll call it good. So Ernesto, you can pull it up.
Okay, sure. Let me take a look here. So, now, Suzanne, just curious, what time is your interview scheduled for?
11.
11. Okay, let's take a look at that. That's always helpful to have to see what's going to be going on in that moment. So, great. Got it. Perfect. And now it's going to get mad. There we go. Okay. So, one more time. 8617. Okay, so as far as the job interview is concerned, you've got like this Jupiter Apollon going on here. So, I mean, this is like one of those things that the job interview is going to be successful, we would assume, because of that. I could also see, though, that, you know, like that this is one of those things that could just sort of, I think that in this case for you with the job interview, this is, yeah, that it's either going to like it's going to get canceled, you're going to get sick. There is some reason like why the job the job interview doesn't really happen. It could even be that the interview is just running terribly late, that they had, you know, an incident and that they had to go and take care of, and that's going to take a while. So, you know, with the job interview, I would expect that to be delayed. But I do believe that you will be successful with that. As far as the love life is concerned, when we look at that one, let me see here. So we have this and that. Okay. Sure. All right. And Beretta, you were just kind of getting a blank on the love life, right?
I wasn't seeing anything right now, but I wasn't getting any indication that it was never going to happen. I had like no visual whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that one. So then what would happen from this perspective is like there, we'll say. Okay. Yeah, I think that the love life thing that you said that you're going out with somebody this weekend, right?
We're supposed to meet, like a first meet.
Right. Okay. Are they older than you are?
No.
Okay. All right. Would you say that do they have a job? Do they work?
Yes.
Okay. Does this person work in a position of authority, like that they kind of are somebody for the company that they work for?
I believe so.
Okay. So, what I'm going to tell you then, as far as like that date is concerned, it's definitely going to change you. It's going to change a lot of your opinions and sort of what you think about this whole process. Is this person the one? I couldn't say. That's a separate inquiry that I'd have to look for, and I'd need their chart data to really kind of mine that out. But what I can tell you based off of your information is the fact that this person that you're going to be meeting with, there's, you know, some changes to unpleasantness, you know, like that you're going to go through. And what I mean by that is like, Suzanne, for you and this whole dating experience, there's a whole, let's be honest, dating culture is extremely toxic and it's really hard to navigate, and it wears down on a person quite quickly. So when you're dealing with like these energies here, like you see on our YouTube stream, you've got this Pluto by direction. So this is your soul that's maturing. And then you've also got like this Neptune Hades. So this is also going to deal with like unpleasantness, or this can deal with, you know, some confusion. This can also, on the opposite end, that can be super clear and on point, but you know, that's very unlikely to happen, even though the stuff is all right in front of you. So what this tells me about you and relationships, since this is really the year when you're going to have like some realizations to where the whole dating thing isn't as daunting or as overwhelming as what you would perceive it even, let's say, like 3 months ago. Like that this new person coming your way, that they're just going to change your opinion so that you don't see it as the dread that you normally do in that. So again, getting into what Beretta was saying, is there somebody coming down the line? Yes, there is, but that's neither here nor there. That's a separate inquiry, and that's somewhat distant off into the future. I think a lot of what you're going through right now is just having the experience of getting to know people and being social again, because so many of us have been cut off during the pandemic, and those social skills are really just sort of lacking. And so with this guy, that now you're being called that I'm going to change this for me, so that I can meet other people who aren't as overwhelming, or at least the interactions are more pleasant. It may feel a little bit awkward at first, and like, I don't really know if I'm going to do this, but just stick with it, because you will benefit from it psychologically, at least through this whole process. And again, like our last caller, you don't see those changes right here in the now. You'll see them down the line through your own actions, just by not feeling the usual disgust that you feel when you sit down with somebody new.
Now, you said about if it's got delayed, the interview, you think it's going to be like an hour or two later, because I took off from work to go.
Yeah, so that would be later than expected, right? So I mean,
but I'm still going to have the interview.
The interview still looks like it'll happen, but there's something with the interview that's wrong, that it'll be delayed, postponed, rescheduled, something along those lines. I just don't think that Friday at 11, when you had that originally planned, that's going to be a time that's auspicious for something like taking a new job or interviewing for one.
Oh, well, I can't take off again, so it's going to have to be that day.
Okay, let me see. 8617. I just need to see where something falls in your chart. And let's see. So then by transit, we have this. That'll move down there. Let's move this forward by like an hour. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. So, yeah, they will be late, but to be clear, it will happen. And so you don't have to take more time off of work, but it's just be prepared that you're going to have to be making some texts or phone calls or somebody to apologize and say, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was. I will be back as soon as I possibly can. Please don't fire me right now.
Well, no, I took off the day.
You took off the whole day.
I don't want to
so,
be rushing around.
Sure, yeah. Then that was even better.
And do you see me getting the job like about 2 weeks or so?
Okay, so for 2 weeks. So, Beretta, what you got for that one, for getting the job?
I think you'll get an opportunity for right away. That job comes
good.
through.
All right. I have to give my other place. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have time.
And I think it's going to be a good move compared to where I'm working now. I'm going to be around people my age, and maybe I'll meet men or something, or more friends or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like the previous caller, that those changes will happen in a new environment as well. Meeting the people, most definitely, and that may be why, in a way, I couldn't see it happening. But I can see why if they're like shoving you back, or you're sitting there waiting, and they're like, it'll be another 15. I can see why you're pissed. So if it's because they're late, that makes sense to me. That absolutely makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to be mad. I'll just wait.
Well, hang on there with that, and I think ultimately it's a good thing. I think you're right, and ultimately it's a good move too. It's a good thing. Whatever's happening in that moment takes place, because it benefits you in the long run.
And again,
I'm looking for like
apologies to interrupt.
Looking like 5 or 6 hours a day about.
So when we look at this chart here, we see that pointer, that orange circle, is right on the transiting ascendant, which is the planet that we like to use when it comes to things like new jobs. So, as to answer the question, yes, you will be offered something as a result of the interview. Now, whether you jump on that or not, that's entirely up to you. But I do believe that there will be an offer that will be made, that they're going to like you in this environment. And as far as some of the other things that are concerned, I also agree that there are some new relationships that are going to be coming up here too, with this stuff here. And so this is going to really open things up for you in a way that you've never seen before. So I think, Suzanne, good for you. Congratulations. I'm really happy to hear that, that you're headed into some positive light here.
I'm looking to work like 6 hours a day and have like the breaks off, Christmas break and February break and all that. So it'll be good.
Yeah, and then let me just take a look at one more thing here, but while I still got you on the line. So let's take a look at our transits that are out in the sky, not that one. Here we go. So September, and now we're almost into October. Mercury goes direct
My
on the
birthday's
2nd.
in a week,
Yeah, so you've got,
the 5th.
congratulations.
My
You're even
birthday's
going
on
to dodge Mercury retrograde in that whole maelstrom. So good job. And also happy birthday to you. That's coming up soon too.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I think that kind of covers it, Suzanne. Was there anything else that we could do for you, or is that it?
No, I guess that's it. I think that's good.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, we do want to thank you for coming out, and be sure to leave us a comment. We love getting that feedback from you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Until next time. Good night. Okay, and on that note, it looks like we've cleared out the call queue, so we're going to go ahead and close down the show a little bit early tonight. We got a few minutes left, but we don't really have any time for another call at this point. So I do want to thank everybody who called the show tonight. It was always great to have you guys. We love taking your questions and giving you guys that real-time answer to life's burning questions. Veretta, thank you so much, as always, for coming out and explaining to us not only just, about our callers and their needs, but about the Ho'oponopono concept and everything that's behind that as well.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And we will be back with you guys Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon at noon. We will be there for a 2-hour slot. So we look forward to seeing you guys next time. And for all other things Uranian Astrology, be sure to check out eastrologer.tv, and you can find Veretta at verettavision.com.
Thank you, and have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Take care. Until next